A Santa Clara woman wakes up to an SUV in her living room. Southern Utah is on high alert as dry conditions and thunderstorms raise the risk of wildfires across the region. And your local weather forecast coming up with highs, lows, and everything you need to know for the days ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Ryan Forsey. A Santa Clara woman is counting her blessings after an SUV crashed into her home early Tuesday morning, leaving her shaken but uninjured. Monica McLaughlin has more on the dramatic scene, the driver's explanation, and the cleanup efforts now underway.
A homeowner in Santa Clara started her holiday weekend early with what she thought was an explosion, but was a vehicle ramming through the front of her house. A Santa Clara neighborhood woke up to shock and sirens Tuesday morning after an SUV came crashing straight into someone's living room. The crash happened just after sunrise when a red Dodge Durango barreled into the front of the home of Melissa Dastrup. Dastrup preferred not to be on camera, but told St. George News she was talking to her son, who was standing in the hallway when she heard a loud commotion. What she said sounded like a bomb. Police say the driver, a woman in her 50s, told officers she had just finished a shift at work and fell asleep at the wheel on her way home. The SUV took out a fire hydrant before it slammed through the front of the home and came to rest inside the living room, still running. With airbags deployed and smoke filling the home, the driver had to crawl out through the back of the vehicle. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured, but the home suffered major structural damage. Within hours after the crash, cleanup crew members were able to secure the home. Melissa, the homeowner, said she is just grateful that everyone is okay. See the full story by Cody Blowers on stgeorgenews.com.
Southern Utah is on high alert as dry weather and isolated thunderstorms heighten the risk of wildfires, with vegetation at critically dry levels and over 400 fires already reported statewide. Let's go to Alicia Lundgren, who has more on what fire officials are saying and what precautions to take heading into the holiday weekend.
As the France Canyon and Forsyth fires continue to burn thousands of acres, Southern Utahns may be wondering what's in store for the rest of the fire season. While red flag warnings were issued for fire weather earlier this week, there is also a chance the monsoonal moisture could result in flash flood warnings in southern Utah. Kelly Wickens, a prevention specialist with the Utah Division of Forestry, Fire, and State Land, said drier weather is expected beginning Thursday through the 4th of July weekend.
As you're out enjoying your 4th of July holidays, remember, we'd all like to enjoy it. So put out your campfires, make sure your vehicles are maintained, your tires checked, those kind of things that can help us all have a nice holiday. Also with fireworks, know your firework restrictions in your areas. They vary across the state. So keep up to date on those. And other than that, just enjoy the holidays, but everybody be safe.
Fire officials say that lightning strikes from monsoonal conditions could initially increase wildfire risk into July before conditions moderate. Kaylee Guild, also with the division, discussed human-caused wildfire at a June press event at the Color Country Interagency Fire Air Tanker Base in Cedar City.
In 2024, 57% of wildfires were human-caused. That was down from 77%. That's where we were at in 2020. So we've seen a drastic drop, and we are still well beyond the national average. The national average is about 85% of human-caused wildfire starts. And so why it's important that we're here today is to just remind everybody that, again, it's everybody's part to be mindful of their behaviors, because one little spark can devastate and cause a catastrophic wildfire.
To learn more about this year's wildfire season outlook and to get tips for how to prevent fires, read the full story online.
Now let's take a look at your daily weather forecast brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. In St. George, we're currently at 95 degrees under sunny skies. Expect a low of 72 tonight, with tomorrow warming up to a high of 96 and a low near 74. Over in Mesquite, it's a warm 98 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Tonight's low will dip down to around 78, and tomorrow we'll see highs reaching triple digits at 101. Cooling off to a nighttime low at 81. And then in Cedar City, it's currently cooler at 78 degrees and partly sunny. Temperatures will fall to about 57 tonight with a high tomorrow of 81 and a low near 60. You can expect scattered afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms with a chance of strong wind gusts in all 3 communities. After 30 years of broadcasting local stories, sports, and public meetings, Washington County's Community Education Channel has officially gone off the air, citing rising costs and shifting media trends. Maury Kessler takes a look back at the channel's legacy and what's next for local public access programming.
The Community Education Channel presents.
After 30 years of broadcasting local news, government meetings, and high school and collegiate sports, the Community Education Channel, also known as CEC, officially ceased operations on June 30th due to declining funding. Last year, the channel's governing board announced it only had enough funding to last into the summer of 2025. This is attributed to more people watching streaming and video on demand services online rather than cable television. The channel was created in 1995 through a partnership between Washington County, various area municipalities, and Utah Tech University, then known as Dixie College. In addition to local news and sports, CEC also offered original programming that won numerous awards over its years of operation. Local leaders said they were sad to see CEC go away and praised the work of Melissa Anderson, who served as the channel's news producer for over 8 years. With CEC's end, the YouTube channel will be rebranded under Utah Tech. To learn more, read the story.
Kyle Lewis, Artistic Director at Utah Arts Academy, has been named Teacher of the Year by the Utah Association of Public Charter Schools for his transformative impact on arts education and student success. Nick Fiala spoke with Lewis about his journey, his students' achievements, and the moment he was honored among peers.
Utah Arts Academy Artistic Director Kyle Lewis recently won the Teacher of the Year award from the Utah Association of Public Charter Schools. Lewis spoke with St. George News about how he developed his teaching style.
A lot of these kids remind me of me when I was in high school, and so my teaching tends to be kind of a commentary on what I didn't like about the teachers I had. So I find myself trying not to be what I didn't like in high school and trying to reach the kids who I hope I can connect with.
Lewis initially tried to rescind his nomination, but the organizers refused to allow it, and UAA principal Drew Williams convinced him to attend the award ceremony anyway.
And so I thought, okay, I'm done. It's going to be over. And then 2 days later, she emailed me back. Gina, I think is her name. And she said, I'm sorry, but I decline the fact that you want to rescind your nomination. And they called my name and I was like, wait, what? I was honestly shocked. I thought I had kind of removed myself from it and was just there to support somebody. I was grateful. I mean, it's very kind. I think it's very kind that someone would nominate me and that they would think enough to allow me to be honored that way.
His son Gavin Lewis is a successful actor with roles in series like Hulu's Wildfires everywhere. While visiting his son and attending acting award ceremonies, Lewis gets an inside look at the latest industry techniques, which he can share with students.
And all the things I learned from those conversations, I can take back to the classroom. Well, who gets that opportunity?
But some of Lewis's encounters with celebrities have been more successful than others.
Like I was standing there for a minute and I heard people cheering, and I turned around and Selena Gomez is about to run me over. And I'm like, I'm in the way again. I just couldn't find a place.
To learn more about Lewis's life and career, be sure to check out the written story.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Ryan Forsey with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.